I'm Andrew Phillips and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to fix a leak in an inflatable place center. And what I'm talking about is these different kinds right here, like we have right here. The one that we're going to be using in the video that has the leak, which is this giant rolling wheel. It's an activity center for outdoors. It's inflatable. You also have these inflatable water slides for outdoor. You have the inflatable bouncy houses, things like that. Occasionally, after use, or maybe rubbing on an abrasive like foundation that it may be on, you may obtain a hole, a puncture, things like that. And at that point, you want to be able to patch that. You don't want to just get rid of it. I'm going to show you very quick and easy how to do that. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for this video, what I'm going to be using is just these vinyl adhesive repair patches. You can get these online. I think they're around $10. I'll put the information along the bottom. But there's different kind of kits that you can get as well. Some of them have the sealant vinyl kind of glue that you put on there. But for this one here, this is very simple and effective. So this is all we're going to be using is just these vinyl patches. So this is what we're looking at here. You can see we have a tear right here. Pretty good size too. Probably about the size of my fingertip right there. I believe one of the kids was rolling outside and hit part of a wooden stake that was a property marker that kind of cut into it. So that's what we're going to be sealing here with that patch. So let's go ahead and get the patch out and I'll show you how to get things ready so we can apply it. Here's the patch. You can see the size of the patch compared to the hole right here. It's very large. We're going to go ahead and cut it down. But just like when you're patching an inner tube, you always want to go bigger than the actual puncture. And if you do want to see a video I did on how to patch an inner tube, you can check that out via the link above. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down, probably cut it in half, and we'll be back to put the appropriate size up to it, and I'll show you what I did. So here's the piece, and you can see there's the hole. It goes here, cuts a little bit over that way. So what I've done, and you can see, I've made it wider than the hole and then longer. So when we put it over it, it'll be a complete coverage with an overlap on it. So the next thing we need to do is we need to clean this area real good. That way we can guarantee that the adhesion will be nice and tight. So I'm going to go ahead and get some warm water and a little bit of soap, and we're just going to wipe that down real good and then let it dry. We're cleaning this area real good, and after you kind of wash it with some warm soapy water or whatever you use, make sure that you then follow up with just a clean damp cloth just to wipe off any residue from soap or cleaner, and then follow it up with the dry end. Just dry it real good, and then you want to let it sit for approximately 10 minutes to properly dry before you try to apply the patch onto it, because you don't want any moisture on there that can cause problems for it adhering properly. So we've got it nice and clean, nice and dry. So we're going to let it sit for 10 minutes and then we'll be back to apply the patch. Alright, so just to recap, we just finished waiting 10 minutes. So going back, we've located the hole, the puncture, whatever it is. We cleaned the area really good with some hot soapy water, wiped it down real good, got rid of any residue, dried it. Now we've let it sit for 10 minutes. In addition to that, we also measured out here and pre-cut the patch that we're going to do based on the hole with an overlap around it. Next thing I did is I washed my hands really good, because I don't want my hands to have any kind of oil or anything as I peel this off, because we don't want to jeopardize the patch at all. So now with my hands clean, this is nice and dry. I've also taken the actual material and laid it more flat than it was before, so that way when we apply the patch, we have more of a flat surface to press it down on. So now I'm going to go ahead, we're going to remove the backer off this patch, and then we're going to apply it gently, and we're going to really try to limit our hands touching anything on here, so that way we don't cause any problems. So peel it back slowly. I'm going to apply it, and we're going to go gently because we want to get this as flat as possible, going over the puncture. There we go. Press it down firmly. Now that we have it on, just really press it down firmly. Get a really good contact there. There we go. That actually looks very good. It looks like it's, and I'll get a close-up of it, but it's sealing it very good. We're getting very good contact here with the material. So what we're going to do now, once you press it down firmly and you ensure that everything is on there nice and firm, you're going to let this sit at least 20 minutes. I'm going to let this one sit overnight because it's the evening, but minimum of 20 minutes before you try to inflate it. So I'm going to get a close-up and I'll show you what we did. It looks very good, and then we'll reconvene in the morning and fill it up with air and see how this patch holds, and then that should wrap it up for this video. Here you can see the patch up close, and you can see the puncture has been completely seamed together there, and you can also notice the overlap that I did here. So you've got it overlapping all around here, and then you can see there's the slit right here in the middle where it had the tear. So we have a nice secure border going all around it. So as mentioned, we're going to let this dry overnight. Technically you just need to wait about 20 minutes or so, but I'm going to let it dry overnight, and then we'll fill it up and see how it holds up. And I actually went back here after watching that last clip that I just filmed. The flash highlighted a flaw right there going through the middle. So to ensure that the air doesn't get in there and escape, I pretty much grabbed the extra part of the patch that I cut off, and I sealed it going horizontally across the top and a horizontal strip along the bottom, just to seal off anything in that little middle piece that looked a little bit, I don't know, just something about it didn't look like it connected properly. So I just wanted to go ahead and play it safe. So I just took those two extra pieces and just put a small patch top and bottom just to ensure that it's completely sealed. Here we are. This is the next day. We're going to go ahead and inflate it and see how this thing holds up. Okay, we filled this part. Just seal this. There we go. And it's holding the air solid. So let's find where we patched it and let's see how that looks. Here's the patched area here, and you can see it is holding. Looks like it might be lumping up a little bit, but it is holding, definitely holding. So the real test will be once the kids start using this thing, and we'll see how it turns out. Everything is holding up good. You can see here. This is all firm. We give it a push. That's nice and solid, holding the air, not leaking at all. So I'm going to get one of my kids out here to play with it a little bit, and then we'll take a look at it and see how it's holding up. All right, we just had some activity with this thing. Checking it out again. The patch still looks good. However, if I get a close up there, might go over it with a little more patching around the edges just to play it safe, but it is holding. There's no leaks. This is still solid. So that pretty much wraps up on how to patch an inflatable activity center, whether it be bouncy house, some of the water parks that you can get, the little pools and activity centers, or these kind of things. I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out. Please send me any questions, comments. I would love to hear from you. As always, I appreciate all the support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.